Well, welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least three topics each week. If this is your first time finding us, welcome. And we're glad you're here. If you are back for more of all the fabulousness that is us, we appreciate you too, and you are the real MVP. So, the sultry voice you're about to hear is our point person, an optimistic realist. We call her Star.
Pay the artist.
Word.
Absolutely. And the dulcet baritone you just heard and shall hear again is our man in the middle, our voice of reason. We call him Magic.
I go insane. Crazy sometimes. Trying to keep you from losing your mind.
That's a losing battle.
Don't I know it?
And bringing up the rear as always, I, of course, identify as the pragmatic contrarian of our group, and they call me Storm.
What? Right on time. Get it.
I know,
Who's
right?
ready?
She was turning into DMX.
We gonna pay you double this week.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Anyway.
I have a math question.
Sure.
A bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat is $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
10 cents?
Wrong.
Wait a minute. Wait. What? Okay, say it again.
No.
I'm sorry.
There's a bat and a ball. Together, they cost $1.10. The bat costs 10 cents more than the ball. How much is the ball? The bat costs $1 more than the ball. Sorry. How much is the ball? We'll get back to that. So, intro to the show. Hey, how y'all doing?
I mean, I might have had a little bit of a gummy before we started this. You up here asking me questions that I'm like I lost you halfway through that story. So
It's okay. As a nerd, it took me a minute.
And I don't have the excuse of being elevated, but I do have the excuse of being tired.
right.
I am drained. Like, I am not operating on all cylinders this week. So, let's go. Get this thing going. So, this is supposed to be my weekend. I'm up on the rotation once again. And you all have to forgive me because I'm kind of working off the cuff a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. First of all, do we have any church announcements?
Apparently, I'm the 12th best rapper in Richmond.
Yeah, that's some BS. We
Rewind the tape.
For those paying attention, Mr. Magic here performed over the weekend, and what did they say? You were 12th place, which is some BS.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, as I stated to him, I'm not one of those people that just amp people up because they my folk. I have way too much respect for music in general.
Thank you.
To hype up
Tell your friends
bullshit.
they're whack.
And to hype up bullshit. If you suck, I may not say you suck, but I'm going to give an honest critique nonetheless. And that was some BS. But we discussed also how anything in the arts, rather music and otherwise, when it comes to public stuff like that, and judges, a lot of times popularity edges out over talent. And anytime you got the crowd vote, you had Whole bunch of other motherfuckers listening. Just the judges. The judges ain't
I'm
how they
cool with
used.
it.
So anyway, um,
I mean,
I mean,
because before the competition, they had you ranked as what?
26th. Honestly, I don't never use
So, I
politics
mean,
as an excuse. Just whenever the video comes out, y'all should watch it. It's funny.
yeah, but I mean, whatever it is, you grossly overachieved from what they expected. So, clearly you
Um,
took them by surprise. So,
I don't want to get too deep into it. I've already had a discussion with the judges. I've seen them rap. I'm good now.
yeah, I mean, whatever.
yeah, and I'm not using
I mean,
politics as an excuse, and I don't use politics as necessarily excuse. It is the reality of things,
But they
though.
exist, yeah.
Yeah, that there's a lot of artists out there that have all the hype in the world, and they're not necessarily the best in their chosen craft. They just got a lot of people to hype them up, and so
Oh shit.
all
Don't
that
make me
hype
start
gets people
calling
to pay
names.
attention. Yeah. So anyway, any other church announcements?
um, I can't think of any.
Uh, I do have one. Um, and if I haven't gotten figured out by now, this one may get me figured out. However, rest in peace, Sparrow. Um, Sparrow is a local well-known poet here in the Metro Detroit area. He was doing his thing for years. He was sweet with it, and supposedly, you know, a lot of folks loved him, had his back, and all this other stuff. And here's one of the reasons why, or the main reason why I'm even bringing this dude up is disclaimer. Um, I did not dislike dude. I'll just say, his last 10 or so years, we did not see eye to eye, and that's that. Okay. However, for as many of your poetry brothers and sisters who was always hyping you up, said they had your back, this, that, and the other, for as many of your poetry brothers and sisters who you've helped along the way, all you was asking for was like 75, I think it was like, I'm sorry, $4,500 on a GoFundMe less than a month before you passed, trying to keep your place, trying to pay your medical bills, and these motherfuckers only came up with $1,200. That
Mm.
is disgusting. Um, that is disgusting just from the sheer numbers of people who so-called supported this man. But that's how it is when you giving your art away for free. People love you or whatever, but when you start charging, then you find out who really got your back. And
Yup.
he did a lot of open mics. He won some awards. He won some open, poetry night. He won quite a few of them. You know what I mean? He had books and all of this other stuff. But again, you start attaching a price tag, then folks show you what they really feel about you. Um, hey, I've been financially challenged for a minute on many different occasions, and if it's somebody that I really believe in, I'm coming up with that 10, 15 or whatever to support their cause. So yeah, whatever. But for those out there listening and don't know who it is that I'm talking about, my point is the arts need support. Pay the artist. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not even just in, when they selling, or primarily when they selling something or having shows and all that other stuff. But you can't say that you're a fan or that you love and respect this person and support this person and not put a dollar in their pocket. And my thing is, easily out of all the people who so-called love this man, They call themselves being in some sort of brotherhood as far as like the poetry community or whatever. Easily he should have been able to come up with that money even if each of them only donated $5. So I just think that
Mm.
sucks, and that's the end of that. Um
Amen to pay the artist. And artists stop
Absolutely.
doing shit for free.
You know what? Pay everybody. I mean, pay the damn writers. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous where people just want something for nothing. Like,
Not the lazy
or
people.
we
Don't pay
just
anything
them.
supposed.
low cost.
Well, I
But
mean, you can pay them. I mean, but you could also fire them. So,
All
and we'll
right, what
we'll
topics we on?
we'll get to the second half of
real
the pay
quick,
the artist later.
yeah, real quick. I have a couple of pop culture
Okay.
items to run past y'all. Uh, care or don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm mailing my vote.
Travis Kelsey's jersey sales have increased 400% since Taylor Swift showed up at his football game. Do y'all
Could
think
not
that
care less.
relationship is real or couldn't care less?
Couldn't care less
Couldn't care less.
about
Okay.
him or her.
Out here shaped
Well,
Or
like
the
a
jersey
skateboard with
sale.
no wheels.
okay. I both think that this is not a real relationship for various reasons and don't care simultaneously. Okay, so well, okay, so Kylie and Travis have officially changed
Don't
their
care.
son's name. The little boy is 1 and some change. I think he'll be
I
2
thought that was his
in
name.
I
January
did
or February.
too.
You silly. But no, his name was Wolf. Wolf Jacques. Wolf Jacques Webster, which I guess is Travis. I don't know where the Webster comes to. But they changed it to Air Webster. Air with an E, by the way, because
Got to differentiate from the actual thing. I don't even know who these people are.
no. Okay.
Yeah, don't
Any
care.
any commentary on people changing their children's names um, at that age?
Just say no to
Listen,
drugs and alcohol.
listen. That's just. I mean, there's nothing different to. There's no difference in that to me than them naming them, oddball stuff when they're born. Um, I feel like, you know, whatever these celebrities do, especially these well established celebrities who their families probably can live off their money for the next several generations. Um, whatever, who cares, right? Because they don't have to fill out an job application, and if they do, they're well known anyway, so their name doesn't even matter. But for these common everyday folks who trying to follow by way of these celebrities and naming your kids crazy shit, don't do it.
Okay, well,
You're
I agree
weirdos.
with
Y'all ain't
you.
never heard of nicknames? What's wrong with these people?
I agree with you in that I don't care about these people. Um, but B, as far as naming kid, well, see, here's my thing with kids.
They gotta go to school.
Well, I mean, aside from just naming them crazy shit, I'm intrigued by the idea that you let your child's personality determine. You know what I
That's how
mean?
you
The
get
name.
nicknames.
Well, exactly. But I mean, I'm just intrigued by that idea just a little bit because I've known some people who have been named some things, and I'm like, that's crazy because I would never look at you and see that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's an intriguing it's an intriguing concept to me, but I mean, just decide on something that's not stupid before the child is born. put it put it on the birth certificate and, keep it moving. And like Magic said, give them a nickname. Okay. Last one. Care or don't care? Well, probably don't care. But Tyrese is currently suing Teddy Pendergrass's widow uh, over the rights to the late Teddy P's biopic.
What does he have to do with it?
Well, right.
Okay. Here's the thing. So the two of them, according to Tyrese, had an agreement that if Tyrese's company agreed to invest in some of her projects, and Tyrese uses his celebrity status to promote those projects, and to promote Teddy's legacy, that she would then in turn give him the rights to the book, well, to a book and a movie, and that he held up his part of the bargain, but after a few years, she refused to give him the rights. So now he's suing her.
Good luck, Black Tie. All right.
Yeah, rich people problems.
Obviously.
I'm not gonna say I don't care, but call me when they resolve it, and then yeah.
I got real problems in my
Yeah.
regular life. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's slightly interesting to me.
it's very interesting to me. Well, I love legal shit to begin with. And to the extent, I'd love to see the actual documents in this case and see whether or not this was a written contract or a verbal contract, and who witnessed it, how they're going to enforce it, or if this is just not what happened. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff is fascinating to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see it on the Law and Crime Network at some point. Okay, that was all. Sorry.
So,
Lord of mercy.
for my first topic, okay, let me get the heavy stuff out the way. My first topic was a news thing that I saw earlier today that just absolutely disgusted me. And I know that this type of stuff goes on. I just don't know what be on folks' mind when they do stupid shit like this. Okay? So, in New York, a 1-year-old boy fell ill and later died, and 3 other children got sick from an apparent opioid exposure last week. Now, these children were at an at-home daycare called Divino Nino, and
Okay.
apparently the house was also being used as a drug stash place. Okay. There were narcotics, including fentanyl and drug paraphernalia, that were under some flooring. And I guess maybe, fentanyl, for folks that don't know, it don't take much to kill you. It takes like a
No.
whiff to
Yeah.
kill you, and especially for like a 1-year-old. So apparently something wasn't sealed correctly or whatever. They came too close to the trap door, because it's not even that the trap door was even exposed, but the vapors, fumes, whatever, were in the air, I suppose. 1-year-old got sick and passed away, and 3 others fell ill. Listen, okay, for you people who live these lifestyles, it's like, you can't have a fucking daycare and a drug house. Like, what? I don't even understand. Despite the fact that this child felt ill. Like, you know, what if somebody decided that they knew where the drugs was, didn't give a damn about the kids, and decided that they was gonna come and hit that spot? Like folks just really do not think when they
Or
do
they
stuff.
really do not care. I mean, it's one or the
Yeah,
other.
it's probably a little bit of both, and I just think that that's real sad. Little boy didn't even get a chance to live his life because, and I that wasn't even his parents. That was, somebody they entrusted to watch their kids. But that's a whole nother thing.
I was going to
You
say
could
the extent
say,
to which I would hunt them down and end their lives.
yeah.
But
Not only you've always had to be careful about where you put your kids, but there's probably going to be more unfortunate stories of kids being injured in these makeshift daycares for the simple fact that come tomorrow, okay, the government is ending the COVID rescue dollars for a lot of these daycares to even stay open. And what they estimate is 70,000 daycares will more than likely have to close their doors around the country once this money ends. I do understand that you can't just keep, pouring money into, these different situations. However,
Into helping
I,
people, but wars, shit, take it all.
yeah. And in this case, where COVID is still a factor, I mean, they're talking about, resurgence in cases and things like that, and the
yeah,
country
two of
has
my
not
coworkers have
recovered,
COVID.
huh?
Two of my coworkers have COVID.
Yeah, the country has not recovered as a whole. I mean, it's still very active. It may not be in the numbers that it once was, but a lot of these businesses still haven't recovered. And daycare is essential, for parents to be able to work. And so them even I understand the government is also under threat of shutdown and all of this other stuff because of the budget and but again, like he just stated, you want to pour all this money in the wars, but you can't rescue the daycares. You rescue the financial institutions, but you can't save the daycares. You can rescue the auto work, the big three, but you can't save the freaking daycare so people can work. So that's going to increase, these jackleg the numbers of these jackleg daycares where people are going to have to make the tough choice of putting their kids in maybe a place that they you know don't necessarily deem the best, but they gotta work to be able to keep a roof over their heads. Like, America, please, like, what are y'all doing? Like, oh, I just don't understand. But I'm gonna get up off of that.
I feel like the
'Cause, I
people who
mean,
ran that daycare braid hair too. I don't know why.
yeah, probably braid hair and sell meals out the back and a whole bunch of other shit. And listen, as a person who has been a multiple hustle person, I get the multiple hustle, but you can't endanger people, or you shouldn't endanger people with your multiple hustle. I remember my ex and I used to sell meals like at a plant or whatever, and everything like got cooked in our kitchen. And I am one of those type of people that, because I come from a restaurant background, I am super anal when it comes to the kitchen and making sure that stuff is clean, and sanitized and whatever. And just because I ran it out of my house didn't make that, didn't make me lapse, because my thought was, okay, the average healthy adult could maybe survive minor food poisoning or whatever. Even if that did close down my business, they might be all right. But what if some kid gets a hold of my cornbread or my pound cake? Or what if some elder, gets a hold to my short ribs or something, and I didn't properly clean, sanitize, and keep stuff straight. You know, a lot of them get taken out. Babies and elders get taken out by food poison every single year. So the same stuff that I did at work, I did at home. You know what I mean? Make sure everything was good, sanitized, clean, whatever, whatever. Cause yeah, you never know. But a lot of
People
people,
That's why I
hungry
don't
this
like
time of night.
buffets.
huh? You said
I
what?
said that's why I don't like buffets.
Oh my God. Buffets are like, listen, we are. I know this is totally off the subject, but we were talking about, a friend of mine was talking about buffets and old country buffet and stuff like that. And
Ugh.
we, we got to talking about old school buffets, and we had one here, and I don't know if it was nationwide, but it was called the Sweden House. And the Sweden House was just like what it sounded. It had a Dutch feel to it, you know, whatever, whatever. And to me, as a kid walking in that place, there was nothing about that place that said, let's go eat. I mean, from like the decor to the smell of the food to the look of the food. But for some reason or
You,
another,
girl,
people flocked to that place.
girl,
Um,
you know that I understand because you know there's that restaurant I will not eat at because I don't like their sign.
oh,
I'm
there's
like
a
that
couple.
is
Which one is it? Remind me.
the Ram's horn.
Oh, the
Like that
Rams one.
sign.
Yeah.
I'm like that. I'm like I look at that sign and I know that they're serving bland food in there.
And to me, that's it. That's the Sweden House is the same thing. They used to make these little restaurants. They look like little Swedish cottages on the outside. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe appealing to other cultures, but I'm just like, how did this become a black thing? Like, I don't understand. I mean, but maybe I think too much because it's like nothing that said Sweden House would appeal to me. And
Especially not the petri dish that was happening on
oh
the.
no. And that was before, keep in mind, that was before sneeze guards. Like when we were
Yeah.
little, they sneeze guards hadn't always been in place.
Ugh.
People was just breathing and uh whatever. But buffets are one of those things that are slowly but surely going by way of the dodo after COVID because people just they don't trust them no more and they should have never trusted them as far as
They
I'm
should have trusted them to begin with.
yeah.
I mean, except Golden Corral, because I mean, if anything nefarious happened, you could stand there for like a minute and a half, and they'll bring out something new. So
Yeah, Golden Corral is one of those that even before COVID, they kind of got it. You know what I mean? They took a little
yeah,
bit.
that's what I'm saying. That's the only buffet that I would eat at because they were constantly switching out food.
Yeah, they took
Whereas,
some of the ick out of buffet dining. But
exactly.
anyway, um, so on to next topic. So
Oh, oh, go ahead.
I picked up a book, and it was a book.
Congratulations.
You know what?
Blackness.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. But I picked up this book um, maybe a couple of weeks ago or whatever. And it was a photography book, so I'm always picking up stuff like that. But it's called I Fought the Law. And it is basically a book, uh, taking pictures of people doing things that are weird laws, like on
Illegal?
the books.
Oh,
They're breaking the law, you know.
yeah,
But
that's what
they're
I said.
like,
Illegal.
yeah, strange laws that are on the book. So I've looked up a couple of these strange laws. Um, and I'm just tripping on some of them. And so I figured we discuss them here. First one is there's a Michigan law that states a wife's hair legally belongs to her husband. A woman isn't allowed to cut her own hair without her husband's permission.
What state is this?
Michigan.
Oh, keep them hoes in check. That's why the pimp is the pimping him. I get it now.
Whatever. Whatever.
Fucking stripping with gators on. All right, I see it.
Well, I mean, I used to tell any man who felt like he could tell me what I could and could, or what I should and should not do with my hair.
Keep on
I'm
moving,
like,
don't stop,
I'm
no.
like, I will follow your advice if you commit to showing up at my house every morning and dealing with it.
Get a quick
No, all right,
crevitis, kill all that.
yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, keep
Ain't
on moving.
about you.
That's some BS. And it's crazy because there's a lot of men who feel like that. Yeah, there's a lot of men who feel like that anyway. I
Yeah.
have a friend who feels like that, and it just amazes me. But anyway,
Mm.
so here's some other weird laws. It is in Detroit. There's a city ordinance that is. It is illegal to sleep in a bathtub. Like
Said to sleep in a bathroom?
to sleep in a bathtub. Okay.
In the tub
Man.
itself.
In the tub itself. Yeah.
Okay.
Um in let's see, where is this? Oh, Skamina County in Washington passed a law in 1969 deeming the slaying of Bigfoot to be a felony punishable by 5 years.
As well it should.
Yeah.
Leave Bigfoot alone, damn it. He out
Whatever.
here trying to live his life, and here
What?
y'all come just messing with him, fucking with him for
What
no
if
reason.
Bigfoot is delicious?
Look, nothing
He's
else
where
better.
he lives. He's where he lives. Y'all come to his house to fuck with him.
Listen, nothing else better to do than enact the law on an imaginary, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
So
let's keep religion out of this.
He's imaginary to you because you ain't seen him yet.
okay. So in Virginia, it is illegal to hunt or kill any wild bird or wild animal, including nuisance species, on Sundays. However, with the exception of raccoons.
Fuck them coons. It's Virginia.
What? Why the fuck are the raccoons catching shrapnel? Somewhere there's a raccoon. Like, what the fuck did I do to you? you you can't hold me responsible for Rollo and them. Damn.
I was laughing, but I was like, damn, what did the raccoons do to get left off the protection list on Sunday?
Right.
Hey, like, it's open
In the
season.
wind.
So, in Vermont, it is illegal to prohibit clotheslines. The law forbids regulations that prohibit clotheslines or other energy devices based on renewable resources. Like people had a whole problem in Vermont with clotheslines. Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, depending on what kind of dwelling you live in, having to look across your balcony and see your neighbor's drawers hanging, I can understand.
Listen, it's saving
I
it.
don't kink shame.
It's green. It's green.
Yeah, but then you'll have that one stain that you can't get out, and now I got to look at you funny every time I see you.
Okay. So
Unfortunate.
in Texas, you can get married by proxy.
In
What?
Texas, you can get married uh, just by living together.
You can have your boy, you
Texas,
I
have your
guess that's
girl.
technically what she said.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, I guess technically that is, but yeah, 6 months. Yeah, the threshold for common law marriage is 6 months. A mere 6 months.
Jesus.
I
Um,
used to have a friend that used to pick a fight with her live-in boyfriend every 5.5 months, like clockwork. He never
mm.
caught on.
Yeah, that's yeah. Um, According to the Tennessee Constitution, it is illegal to hold public office if a person does any of the following: fight in a duel, or
You would
knowingly
think if you survived it, you should be able to hold public
Right.
office.
be the bearer of a challenge to fight a duel, or send and or accept a challenge for that purpose. Like,
No
yeah.
gangsters in office. Uh,
I know.
is humanity the only species that rewards the weak in the level that we do?
Right, because I feel like we should bring back duels.
Yeah.
On God.
Exactly. I
Uh,
mean, all this political fighting in Washington, we could have been done dispense with all this.
Grab your sword, take arm. Um, so last one is no seducing unmarried women. In South in
I
South Carolina
object.
in South Carolina, there's a law in the books that made a man guilty of a misdemeanor if he seduced an unmarried woman using deception and promise of marriage.
So you could do it to a
Oh,
married woman?
deception. Oh,
Right, right,
deception.
right, right, right. What'd you say?
Okay.
As long as he's allowed to seduce her as long as he's not deceiving her when he does it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're promising
yeah.
to marry
Okay.
these hoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
something illegal. Shout out to my ex in SC. You cool?
Yeah. I'm all for that law. So,
You objected at first before.
well, because I
Be
thought they were
lying to
saying
these
you
hoes.
can't
Right.
seduce an unmarried woman, and I'm like, how dare you?
Well, you can't seduce an
Yeah,
unmarried
she gonna
woman.
get to the marriage part.
Right, right. If you trying to make it seem like you trying to make her, the one.
There's a no lying to hoes policy in South Carolina.
Right,
Yeah.
Ooh, I know a
right.
lot
Well,
of
and
y'all
that's
in trouble.
and
They
and
got
that's my
strip clubs.
point.
They shouldn't
Like,
even be allowed to do that.
yeah. Well,
You know what? I said that was the last one. Here's the last one. My fault. In Rhode Island, you can face up to 20 years in prison if you put out an eye, slit the nose, ear, lip, cut off, bite off, or disable any limb or member of another.
Fair.
yeah.
My thing is, how does that just not fall up under assault? Like, why is there an actual detailed law on the books? Like,
Well,
how
Because
common?
technically there would be assault and then battery and then that.
right. Right. That's a little extra
Dismemberment.
charge that we about to sprinkle up on there because you got out of hand.
You know when
Yeah.
to say when.
Yeah. So Mike Tyson, luckily the fight didn't take place. Rhode
I
Island.
remember we were throwing a party during that fight. That was my man L's birthday. A lot of things happening.
Did I ever tell you about I was there? I was there. I was at the fight, outside in the hallway and taking a phone call when it happened.
Wow.
I was watching
all,
it
I,
like, what did he do? I don't get it.
all
Mm.
I could hear was like this collective, like loud gasp and like assorted screams. And I was like, the fuck happened in there? I was out the hallway on the phone. I was there. I missed
Real
it.
talk though, do you know how hard you have to bite down to bite someone's ear off?
I mean, he didn't bite his ear off.
I know, but
He got a chunk.
even a chunk. Do you know how hard it is?
To do that. I mean,
Yes.
First and foremost, I need braces. My bite ain't tight enough to bite anything off.
listen.
Wow.
Can you? I mean,
No, I can't
with
bite
that-
an apple. I have to like tear pieces off.
with that neck and that jaw, can you imagine how many pounds per pressure he could apply? I mean, I'm sure it wasn't that
What
hard.
neck?
He didn't.
Well,
Well,
but I'm saying it has to be so very deliberate. Like
well,
like you have to really commit to this is what I'm finna do. Like it can't just be like, in the moment, oh, I'm just gonna bite this person's ear off. You have to commit to that
think he
shit.
plotted and planned that.
No, I don't think he
Are
plotted
we
and planned,
implying
but I
Mike
think
wasn't out of his fucking mind?
as opposed to what? I mean, because I, you
Listen,
know,
he's a much
it's
different person after the shrooms and the weed.
Yeah.
but my
Back
point
then, I
is
don't
if
find
that
it hard at all to believe Mike Tyson would have bit something off of somebody.
Yeah.
I don't either.
He
But
wanted to eat their children.
what I'm saying is
Pause.
you have to commit to doing it because it's not that easy to just bite through flesh like that. I
Yeah.
mean, unless your jaws are built for it. Like a dog can do it easily, you
Iron
know.
Mike. They call him Iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my ending on weird laws. And so for my last topic, we're going to we're gonna take a little deep dive into the whole pay the artist thing and why we got started on that. So there's a young man who I had every intention on calling his name out to our thousands of listeners. uh, However, I've done a little research and I am not going to call his name out because the jury is still out on a few things. However, I'm going to say what it looks like, right? So there's a young man who put up an Instagram post that there are supposed to be this group of gospel artists that are going on tour. And we're talking Ty Tribbett, Clark Sisters, Kirk Franklin, several others. So these aren't just, people trying to get their weight up in the industry. These are major names, right? And they're supposed to be doing something called the reunion tour or whatever in a bunch of different cities. So the post that he put up was, uh, you know, the reunion tour is looking for photographers and videographers, right? And at the bottom, it says volunteer opportunity, right?
Uh,
Okay. So when my friend told me about it, I was like, hell no. Like, you
right.
know, um, I didn't even know the particulars. It was just like an immediately no to me. Like the person who put up the flyer, never heard of this young man ever. But I'll get back to that. I'm sorry, our co-host. Say hello. Hiya, hiya. Hi, Nana. Hi, little mama.
Honolulu to you too, girl.
Okay. I need you to go that way. So anyway, back to the flyer. I didn't know if he was the promoter. I didn't know how this concert was being put together, or I didn't know what was going on. But when I first saw it, I thought to myself, are you kidding? First of all, you have these major names. You got to know that this isn't a free event, and you're going to be charging all this money for tickets. They probably doing these concerts in various churches where the cost of the venue is cut down tremendously because the majority of these churches want something like that coming there so that they can try to increase their membership because the churches are struggling to stay alive. It's like costs are being cut all the way around and you want photographers and videographers to come and give their skills, talent, and time for free. It's like, what kind of foolishness is that? As
Right.
I did a little bit of research, the young man, uh, it appears to be that the young man is not necessarily the blame. What it looks like to me, because this young man is now like, I guess, a major player in the gospel game, in the music game, as far as being a photographer, and he's making good money and all of this other stuff. What he discussed basically was that when he was trying to first get into doing this, there was a lack of opportunities for him to even build a portfolio. So when somebody had came to him and said, "Hey, you got these connections and resources or whatever, why don't you reach out to people in the different cities if you can, and give somebody else some of the access that you had or have," right? And so on one end, that sounds great. And if it is not so much that this young man is like, let's just trying to get a bunch of work for free, which it kind of looks like he's probably not. Whoever suggested that to him definitely knows what it is and was like, you know what, we can get a whole bunch of content on these concerts and not have to pay these folks. If we let him do this. He On one end, I can understand that if you are trying to get into celebrity concert photography, videography, that getting access is hard. It was hard before COVID. It's 10 times harder now, right? I get that. But there are literally people in the industry who have always, you know, tried to get over on photographers and videographers or whatever, saying that, oh, well, it's an opportunity, it's exposure and this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, they get your materials and half of them don't even tag you. Or if you put logos on your stuff, they try to get rid of them if it's pictures, so on and so forth. Like, it's disgusting. It's just absolutely
That
disgusting.
that was going to be my question. If I volunteer to shoot your event, who owns the photos?
Well, unless you sign a contract, with them where they're saying that they have exclusive rights to whatever it is that you turn in. The photographer and videographer always has the rights to their material.
Right,
However,
but oh, go ahead.
trying to enforce that,
Yeah,
once somebody steps over the line, is a whole nother issue. And if you do not have the money or the, correct resources or whatever to fight these people, especially when you're talking about on the level of, let's just say I take an image that Kirk Franklin loves and he decides he wants to put it on his album. Luckily, I'm a part of an organization that, even though I don't have the money to fight them, this organization does. But a lot of photographers do not have that, don't know anything about it, so on and so forth, right?
yeah,
But my thing is that, to you artists out there, part of the reason why this exists in the way that it exists is that so many of us give our craft away for free, on a regular basis. It's one thing to do a little bit of something here and there to build your portfolio because you would not get access otherwise. However, it doesn't take you filming megastar or taking pictures of megastars who literally have millions of dollars, and for you to provide promotional material to them to give people an example of your work. If you're going to do that, why not do stuff with folks that's local who really don't have a budget, but somebody can see the quality of your work? You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, a lot of people do it because I took a picture of Beyonce, whatever. It feels like that's gonna get them some clout. That gets you clout for all of like maybe a day on social media because you took a picture of Beyonce. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you have people out there who take advantage of us like that because we allow them to take advantage of us like that. If we stop shooting their stuff for free, then they have no other recourse but to pay us if they want their
yeah.
stuff documented. So that's just my statement. Any thoughts?
As you said in the
No,
beginning,
I
pay
agree.
the artist.
Pay,
And like I said in the beginning, pay everybody. Pay
pay
the auto
everybody.
workers, pay the writers, pay,
Pay,
the staff, pay everybody. Damn.
pay
I mean,
everybody.
why y'all just, I mean, some of y'all
Then
just
innately
hoarding
the
money for
price of
no
everything
reason.
goes up.
Pay
Well,
them.
I mean, it's going up anyway.
Capitalism.
And that's a whole
Yeah.
other thing because if you're not a photographer or a videographer, a lot of people just assume like, well, it's no sweat. It's no sweat off of their back or whatever. Like that is just so easy, but they don't take into consideration that there's a maintenance cost to cameras. You know how much your gear costs, cards cost. You got to actually get there, so on and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? Those are things that are not taken into consideration. And for those people who try to lowball, I'm sorry, give me 2 seconds. Hey, no, no.
We, the Threesome Podcast, will be back in approximately 45 seconds.
I see that.
I can't hum.
Those who try to lowball the people in the industry, like if I tell somebody for a concert, okay, give me 5 bills or whatever, I'll shoot your concert. And they'll say, oh, well, what about 250? It's like, dude, you really literally trying to pay me what, like $30 an hour? Because at the end of the day, your concert's gonna run from between opening act and me getting there early just to get position and so on and so forth. You're literally trying to pay me like $30 an hour on top of the time that it takes for me to go home and edit stuff. It's like no, no, no. But it's getting bad. It's always been bad, but it's getting worse and worse. And at some point, we as artists have really got to learn how to stop giving away our gift for free, which is part of the reason why it's not valued. That's just my
Yeah.
2 cents.
Well, I'll tell y'all what I always tell people. No is an entire sentence.
Absolutely. No further explanation needed.
No, yeah, you don't have to justify it. You don't have to back it up. Will you do such and such for free? No. Keep it moving.
Keep in mind that attention is not currency.
It is not. Exposure is not currency. I can't go to my local utility company and,
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
with social media follows and pay my bill. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I can't.
I can't give y'all money this month, but I got visibility.
I got likes. That being said, if you know how to market yourself well, you can turn fame into money, but there's a million people trying to do the same thing
Exactly.
that are willing to work harder than you at it.
Yeah. So that was just my 2 cents, and that is the end of my 3 topics. Do any of you good people have anything else to add to it? Or to add to the podcast itself?
So you actually watched The Wilderness, huh?
Yeah, that was wild. Like, I don't know if anybody listening actually checked out the show that she suggested called The Wilderness on Amazon Prime. That was wild. It was also good, kind of a little bit of a plot twist, which is hard to find in
Remakes.
TV shows and series and stuff like that these days. Because, there's so much redundancy out there in the writing. It's like you can damn near write this. You can damn near write it as you go along. You already know what's about to happen. So, there were a few plot twists in there, and little switch up in there. I appreciated that. But that was wild, and I hope and pray I never run into a dude like that because my man was a piece of work.
He was.
His picture, the picture of
did
his
you find-
character should be in the dictionary of narcissists.
Did you find yourself wishing for her to kill him
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was.
Wanted her to. I mean, the better thing was what actually ended up happening to him, I suppose. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm like, you need to take him out. Like,
So
Yeah.
it's the Hunger
Immediately.
Games.
No, that was that show I was talking about, The
Sounded like the
Wilderness.
same plot.
Oh, no, not even
no, not
close.
even close. Yeah.
No, because love changed the game. Magic.
Yeah, ladies, don't fall in love with a guy that's been trying to kill you the whole time. Fucking hated that goofy ass movie.
What, Hunger Games?
Yes.
I like the Hunger Games. I thought they did a good job of keeping to the book and everything. So,
Showing a
yeah.
suck ass broad.
Well, at least the first one.
That's the only one I watched, and after that, I was done.
No, I like the Hunger Games. I mean, it was entertaining. And I got, little sayings out of it. I tell
I've
people all the
never
time.
seen that many
May the
people fall
odds
asleep
be
in one
ever
movie
in your
theater in my
favor.
life.
Oh no! People was falling asleep where you were.
I would say a good third of the theater fell asleep during that movie.
You probably went at like 9:00 at night.
Well, I think
That's
it was
not
7
late.
something.
If it's interesting, that's not late to be kissing.
Have I ever fallen asleep in the movie theater?
I
That
have.
shit, that could be a
Oh,
whole
one
topic
time.
with the amount of
Yeah.
movies I done fell out on.
Yeah, I know at least one time I did, and I was real mad about that time because my niece and nephew wanted to go see. Oh, this is how long ago it was. They wanted to go see that Jimmy Neutron movie, and I didn't have any time in my schedule, so I took them not to the matinee, and that's where I first fucked up. Right, took them, so I paid for me, my child, and my niece and nephew at the time, because the third one wasn't with us. So I paid for all of them at not matinee prices. And of course, we had to get some concessions because, it's an experience or whatever. 10 minutes into the movie, they were all out.
Damn.
I was so hot. I wanted to wake them all up.
You took them to the movies during nap time. Your fault.
Well, during sleep time, not even lap time. I was like, it's like, I wanted to be like, get y'all asses, y'all expensive asses up. But yeah, so I said, never again. I said, don't y'all ever ask me to take y'all to a movie that ain't a matinee.
I was just getting ready to say, better kids be out. Like, kids be out. Like, you can't take them to do stuff late and expect them to stay up. They be out. I remember I've fallen asleep through quite a few Mario Van Peebles flicks. And even though I like him.
Oh, man. I get it, though.
I've fallen asleep. I remember falling asleep on Vampire in Brooklyn, too.
Oh, me too.
I wouldn't even went to theaters for that. I still haven't seen it.
Well, I didn't go to the theater. I fell asleep watching it. I think it was on DVD at the time.
At home, I done fell asleep on a whole bunch of movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely at home. But I've fallen asleep in the drive-through. I fell asleep on Meteor Man in the drive-through.
In the drive. But you know what?
Drive-in
get you.
Or drive-in.
Because, yeah, that's what I meant. The
Y'all was
drive-in.
watching movies? Losers.
The drive-in gets you, or at least, the Fort Wyoming used to get you, because you could see 2 movies. So, in order to maximize
your
dollar, exactly, you would stay for both movies. Now, after you done sat through one movie, The second movie is hard to get through. I fell asleep on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and rightfully so. So
Who's hers?
forget you.
I remember.
Nah, forget your date. That shit was basura.
Oh,
You
I
said
wasn't with
Basura?
a date.
Who goes to
No,
the
I wasn't with.
Okay, that's worse.
Oh.
No, it's because we had the kids with us. We had kids. And so we were like, yeah, she's going to drive in because they're going to fall asleep anyway. And, they did.
They kids,
Well,
if you drive any longer than 15 minutes, they're going to sleep anyway.
except for my
You would
grandbaby.
think. I was
She
going
be
to say,
up
not
right
my
out of bushy
child.
tail, checking out the world. Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I learned real early on that car thing did not work for her. She like, ooh, what's that? What's that? What's that?
Yeah, some kids are too damn nosy for that trick.
Yeah.
And my
All right,
child was
people.
nosy.
I'm calling it a night.
Okay. No, Jim.
I'm thinking. Oh, your hater is your best guide for actual greatness.
Absolutely.
If you like the show, tell friends, tell foes, tell hoes, and if you don't, tell the whole internet. Whatever happened to threads? Anyway, it's a threesome podcast on
They're
Facebook and
still there.
Instagram, the threesome pod on Twitter. I never went to it. They're like, it's like Twitter, but it's made by Instagram. Like Twitter allows nudity, Instagram doesn't. That's not the same thing.
I just looked at it the other day, and I mean, I'm like, I'm too old for this shit. Like there's just too much new stuff. I got other stuff I need to concentrate on.
Yep. Good night,
Anyway.
folk. Thanks
Yeah,
for
going to walk the
joining
dog.
in. Walkie doggy.
Ah.
Sorry.